Top of the morning to you all. Happy Friday. My name is Lewis. I am your host over here. I am out in the shop again. I'm up early, kind of trying to get some Midjourney testing done. So, want to reiterate from my Wednesday morning live stream. Hey, Midjourney had an update. They've got video that's been released. Here's what I found out from Wednesday to today. If you already have a subscription and you are on the Pro plan or the Mega plan, you have unlimited video, which is super dope. Yo, if you go into relaxed mode, you can just generate up to 6 videos at a time concurrently and just cook. You can just cook all day, all night, which is kind of what I did last night. I stayed up pretty late playing around with what are the different types of images that it struggles with, you know, and in other generators what I have found is sometimes AI will struggle with cars and wheels. It'll struggle with waves and water. It struggles with really fast movement, fingers from time to time. Those are things that I frequently find. Text is the other thing that sometimes it'll struggle with. Midjourney did a really good job of handling all of those. Here's what I also found though. The couple of things that I did notice that it struggled with were when you're creating a scene and you have particles in the air, rain droplets, snowflakes, dust, whatever, it struggles with making those things coherently move with the scene. If you have a young lady that's in motion and her hair is in motion, the strands of hair, when you generate the video, the strands of hair will be stiff like as they're moving. So things like that are a little bit of a challenge, but you can definitely work around it. The other thing that I found is the extended scene works really, really, really well. I've done it up to 3 times, but I understand you can do it up to 4 times. So these will be things that are really helpful for you to be able to build out some of those sequences. The other day I talked about being able to permutation prompt, and one of the things that I'm going to be trying today, tonight, and on into Saturday as prep for the live stream on Sunday, I'm going to be trying out some different cameras and lenses to see, hey, just like with the Midjourney images, does this require a framework for how to, if you're going to manually put in a prompt, how do you need to talk to Midjourney video? Obviously, you can try and put it in like ChatGPT, and I have put in my framework, but what I found is because you're only making 4-second videos, my framework is too much context for that generator to comprehend and understand. So I need to shorten it down, make it a little more compact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with one paragraph, one really jam-packed with information paragraph. I'm going to try and keep it to about 60, 70 characters or less, if possible. And I'm going to add in a camera and a lens in there. So I'm going to start likely with the Canon EOS and or the Sony Cinealta. Those will be what I start with. I will try likely next week some drone shots. And I'll probably start with the DJI Phantom 4 Pro. So those will be the couple of quick things that I'll be working on over this weekend. Let me know in the comments, what did you find that worked well, and what did you find that, hey, just didn't work well? I talked with Jen just before I started the live stream, and one of the things she said was, hey, it struggles with monsters and horror. So I would be curious to know, hey, if there's anybody out there, kind of like my friend Don, if you guys make horror or sci-fi, that kind of art, let me know if you have success and if you've got some tips for how to get those videos to come out a little more cohesively. Other than that, this has been a really exciting week. We had a lot of updates. The other thing that I saw yesterday was Canva actually now has access to Google VO3 just natively inside of the app. So you're now able to create really high quality videos in Canva as well. For those of you that use Canva on a regular basis, this is going to allow you to really script short commercials very, very quickly. You're now also going to be able to generate your own B-roll. So these things are going to be really critical for you to practice, get good at a skill, get good at a workflow, a process, and write it down and save it in a file. We need to start organizing how we do things. I already got overwhelmed with how many extra videos I have now. So what I did was start a file system, one for Midjourney videos that are in landscape, one for Midjourney videos that I've already sequenced and put together, so Midjourney Reels, vids, and then I also have some reference images in a file. So those are just my regular Midjourney images broken down into the different aspect ratios. So what this is going to help me do, and I've already done this with Kling before, so this is kind of my system. This helps me find my videos a lot faster. As you begin to compile a lot of videos, you're gonna find that it's really hard to find that specific video that you're looking for if you didn't just make it and it's at the top of your list. You're gonna need to make a filing system. So what I would suggest is start with the different aspect ratios and or genres of art that you actually like to make. This will make it a little easier to kind of sort and find the different videos that you've made. This makes it easier in the editing process when you're sequencing and putting these things together. So that's my tip for today. I let you know kind of what I'm going to be working on. I let you know a couple of the resources that I'll be using during generating these videos. Aside from that, it's going to be a pretty busy weekend heading up to our episode 65 of Leadership Lounge Live. I know we've got a lot of updates. We took the week off last week for Father's Day, and just to give the team a break. We've been going for 6 months straight with no breaks, so last week was just a good opportunity for us to kind of get refreshed and get ready to get active for this very, very busy upcoming summer. Again, if you need anything from me, I am always available. You can shoot me a DM. I see Deb is in the house. She shot me a couple of DMs yesterday and the day before. So if you guys need help kind of getting up and going, no problem. You can drop it in the comments in any one of my videos. I do want to say I am shifting most of my personal AI videos over to our martial artistry page. The reason for that is I want to be able to showcase Leadership Lounge Live here on this page along with the clips, but I know that there is a lot of overflow between the lounge and my personal content. So what I'm doing is I'm splitting it up and I'm putting it in two different areas. So for the most part, you're going to see lounge clips here, but you'll probably see some finished product style of edit videos, AI videos, and or tips and tricks here on this page. Over on my martial artistry page, I'm going to really focus more on teaching in regard to how to generate these images and videos, talking about my framework, and then doing more marketing over there so that it's a little more clean and streamlined for you guys as the audience. It's starting to just get cluttered. So what I want to continue to do is separate that content a little bit so that it's a little easier on the eyes for you guys as the viewers. So if you've been interested in watching my personal content, checking out my personal images, all of those are going to be on my martial artistry page. Please make sure to go follow, tell a friend, and then the other content that will be here will be our Leadership Lounge lives, as well as the clips, as well as a lot of the refined down AI videos that aren't like short reels. These will be more productions that I'm putting together. I'm finding that I'm really enjoying editing these things together and creating my own new storylines. And so Jen and I talked about a concept last night that might be able to help some other creators out there. It's so hard to keep up with content nowadays that I think I'm gonna start to put something together for you guys that makes it a little easier. If there's something that I can put together, please drop it in the comments so that I can go back and build the things that you guys need as tools to get to that next level. Oh, Deb, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. I hope that you're having fun over there in Midjourney. And I do want to say those prompt packs that we put together, that's really going to come in handy now to be able to put into draft mode, draft yourself some reference images, and then go through the process of what I tried yesterday was the auto feature. Jen's got my other phone. Going through the auto feature where I'm letting it generate the video just to see, hey, what does it struggle with? What does it do well with? And then today, well, last night, I started really taking some of my prompts that I had already done in Kling with the reference images from Midjourney and running those through in Midjourney. What I found was my Kling framework that I normally use for image to video is just too much information. The way that I have my cinematic training guide broken down is it gives context in several different areas, and this is how I'm able to get Kling to function more like my cinematic director. What I'm having to do with Midjourney is shorten that down, and so like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna try and shorten that input down to approximately one paragraph that's just jam-packed with all of the things that I need. And then in tandem, at the end, this is going to be shot on either a Canon Cinema EOS or the Sony Cinealta. Those are the two I'm going to start with tonight, tomorrow, leading up to the show. Then we're going to do our show. We're going to talk about updates and the other things that we've got planned for you guys. And then Monday through probably Wednesday or Thursday, Wednesday for sure, I'm going to start to play with drone style shots, handheld shots, and POV shots so that I can kind of get a range of, okay, what does it, every platform has a pro and a con. They all do some things really, really, really well, and then they have one thing or two things that are like the Achilles heel. I'm trying to figure out where is that line with Midjourney on the video side. I can tell you I got 2 messages yesterday, so I found a breaking point. They do have some restrictions on in the system, and I'll go into that on Sunday when we get into our updates, but I got 2 video prompts that they accepted the prompt, began the sequence, and then gave me an immediate message, hey, I can't run this. And it gave an explanation as to why it couldn't, but it was like, oh, here, let me screenshot this. I'm going to talk about this to the group. It'll be helpful for them. And then again this morning, I tried to run an extension of a scene that I had already run. I got 4 seconds, and I wanted to extend that further, and it immediately was like, hey, I can't do that. And it gave an explanation of why, but I just screenshotted it, and I figured we can talk about it this weekend. But there are some restrictions in the system. I just don't know what that looks like, how far I can go with things, and so that's really essentially what this testing is this weekend. Deb, while I have you on, if you have, I know you said you ran through your fast hours pretty quick. What I found out yesterday morning was if you run it in relaxed mode, it won't run your fast hours. So for pro subscription users and for mega subscription users, they have the ability to run in relax mode and just unlimited. You have unlimited generation. So like all night, I just run 6 back to back to back to back to back to back to back. By the time the first and second get done, I'm finishing off inputting the 5th and 6th. So I've got a constant, 6 new videos coming up every single, like I ran mine for an hour and I probably have 25, maybe 30 videos in the hour that I've been up this morning. So you're really able to get a lot of output very quickly. My testing this morning and last night is very specific. I'm trying to figure out, hey, what does it struggle with? Like I said, I started out with waves, fingers, smoke, fire, dragons, text, what else? I've done a wide variety of very surreal scenes to just see what does it do. I have not tried much realism, like portraiture realism, so I'll try that, but I do need to prompt for some realistic people. I got my notebook out here today. So okay, while we're on here, so coming up with reference images. Let me move this right quick. Give me 2 seconds. So coming up with reference images. We talked about this a little bit the other day, and I'm gonna keep this short because I know I gotta go to work this morning and I gotta get some airbrush stuff done. So coming up with your reference images, you do want to keep that framework that I usually talk about in mind. You want to make sure that you're given enough context and giving yourself a really good opportunity to come up with a prompt that will describe what you want to generate. One of the things that I might suggest, and here I'll go through my framework just really briefly, including media quality, image type, a description, art styles, especially when you're in Midjourney. Art styles is going to be important to help you generate something that is unique and tailored to you. From there, I also add in lighting conditions, a shot type, a camera, and a lens. And then because you're in Midjourney, the parameters are your friend. So I want to just do a quick rundown of my top used parameters over the last maybe 3 months. Let's say 3 months to keep it short and concise. I am still bouncing back and forth between version 6.1 and version 7. When I want a more realistic person, I'm using version 7. When I want to really dial in my character reference or omni reference in version 7, I'm using version 6.1. It's just easier for me to dial in exactly what I need, still get the variety, but keep the consistency the way that I personally like it. I'm working on omni reference, but the omni reference weight is the thing that I'm still kind of playing around with, and I want to start on the parameter side with character reference. I think that has probably become the most important Midjourney parameter going forward now that they have video. Character reference, and in version 7, omni reference. This is how you're going to take, like, if you were to take a screenshot of me right here, right now, you could take this screenshot, put it into Midjourney, grab the media link, and use that image as a character reference. So you would put in your prompt, insert prompt here. At the end of the prompt, you're going to go -- C as in cat, R as in rate, E as in energy, F as in Frank. CREF. So -- CREF space, that image link, and then a space after that. that CREF, character reference, and that image link, that's gonna tell Midjourney, hey, I want something that looks similar to this actual image. Then what I do after I have my image link and the space, I go --C as in character, W as in weight, --CW. The range on that is from 0 to 100. 0 being like, hey, make it just like the screenshot that I gave you. 100 is like, hey, change subtle things. Make his outfit different, the background different, hairstyle different, glasses, no glasses, hat, no hat, change the color of the outfit, those kind of things. Subtle changes. I typically, and this is an exclusive, I typically, when I'm using character weight, not going any farther than 0.8. Most of the time, if I wanted to make it look like the reference image, I'm going --CW02. It's like 2. If I really want some range in what they look like, I'll go character weight 0.8. So 4, 4, 8. That helps me stay kind of tailored and dialed in with regard to the image and what it looks like. And then if I want it to have more flexibility, the very next parameter that I use is chaos. So with chaos, I'll, like I said, start with your prompt. Now you've added your character reference and your image link and your character weight. I'm also adding in chaos. Hey, I want all 4 images to look different. So I'll go --C as in cat. I will typically go no higher than 65. If I'm really testing, I'll go 100, 65, 30, and 10. That'll be kind of my test range. What do I like about each of those sets? What don't I like? How much quality do I lose? Those are the type of things that I'm looking for. From chaos, I'll add in my aspect ratio. I usually want it in landscape. I want it in landscape versus vertical, like a reel. I want mine in landscape. So I'll go --AR or --aspect. I'll put a space, 16, semicolon, 9. So that's how I'll set up my parameters just to get me going. I'm looking at this list and I need to do an updated list, but those specific parameters plus stylize, if I'm really looking to just go outside the box, that's what I'm using over the last 3 months. No more, no less. No weird, no surreal. I'm not even negative prompting if I'm keeping it real. Like, that's my sequence. So I'll, \imagine, go through my framework. Hey, image quality, media type, description, art styles, camera, lens, lighting, shot type, parameters. At the parameters part, which is always at the end, I start out with the character reference, --CREF, space, my image link, space, --character weight or CW, 02, 04, 08. That's it. No farther than that. Space. I add in some chaos, whatever that looks like. I add in my aspect ratio. There's one more that I actually use from time to time, and now that I'm on desktop and less in Discord, I put mine in raw mode. I want it to stick closer to the prompt. So that dash style raw at the end of the prompt does help, but it kind of depends on what style of image you're trying to generate. But that process, that's how I'll get myself a reference image. That's the process. If you really want to test the system and you've got your reference image already, this was the process that I talked with Jay Slay about this yesterday. I talked with Jen about this yesterday. So you want to come up with your prompt, add in your character reference. Come up with your prompt, add in permutations. So curly bracket, and I'll say action shot, candid shot, wide shot, close up. Those will be the 4 that I would drop in the first permutation. And then the second one, I would say cinematic lighting, moody lighting, golden hour, blue hour. Those will be the 8 permutations that I would put in there. I know personally that those 8 permutations are going to give you 16 sets of 4 images. That's a lot to work with. But you've already set up your lighting, and you've already set up what pose, position they're already in. I would then add in the character reference after you add in the permutation. So you're going to get that character in all those different positions, whether it's a candid shot, an action shot, a close-up, a wide shot. Now you have all of that in one prompt for one character. That's a build a scene right there. You can build an entire scene with just doing that process. So that's the thing that I would suggest. I'll go back over this again likely this weekend on Sunday. If not, I will put this in my subscriber hub today as soon as we get done. I'll leave it up for everybody to watch, but the subscribers are gonna get it today, and this video will go away by Sunday morning. So I'll leave it up for a whole 48 hours so that, hey, anybody who's really trying to like get ahead in real time, that process I just gave you, that workflow I just gave you, that allows you to script scene by scene for days. And especially if you're working in relaxed mode, you can just do that all day, every day to come up with your scenes. Now, I do want to preface this. In order to permutation prompt, you need to be in fast mode. So you're gonna be toggling back and forth between fast mode for your reference images and then back to relaxed mode to run all your video for free without wasting all of your fast hours. So I want to reiterate, fast mode for reference images, relaxed mode for creating video, because you're testing here. You don't know what results you're going to get with the video. You don't want to waste your fast hours. So fast mode for reference images to get you a big batch for you to choose from. You'll have enough to make videos for a couple of days, probably weeks, honestly. And then jump back to relax mode and make all those images that you just came up with move. Take a look at the different scenes, and that's why I said, hey, make one a candid shot, make one an action shot, make one a close-up, and one a wide angle. Put it in cinematic lighting, moody lighting, warm or golden hour, blue hour. That gives you top of the morning, evening, dusk, and everything in between, both moody and cinematic. So now you have a full scene to work with. I would also add in, if it's difficult for you to script that sequence when you get to the video part, I already came up with a cinematic training guide. So this is how I talk to my chat. mine is a cinematic agent, is what I call it. So what I typically will do is take the reference image and go in and go talk to my cinematic agent. Hey, I want to come up with a script to make this image move, but I need help because I don't come from the film industry. I don't know the terminology, and I need a little help to kind of bridge that gap. So here's the reference image. This is kind of what I want to do with this scene. Hey, I've already pre-trained you with that cinematic training guide that is at Martial Artistry. Hey, sequence this and give me a couple options, and it'll run the image and give me back, hey, based on your training guide, here's how this needs to be broken down, and it'll give me sections to actually use for creating that video. Until Wednesday, I have exclusively been doing that in Kling AI, but now I'm gonna be kind of working back and forth between Kling and Midjourney, because with Midjourney, I don't need a new subscription. However, it can't do everything that I want to be able to do yet. It's just not there yet. So that's where I'm going to be coming up with some of the scenes in Midjourney and then bouncing back and forth to Kling, because that cinematic training guide has me cooking in Kling. I don't even have to worry about that. I've got a framework for image to video. I've got a framework for elements, and I'm should be finished with the multi-elements framework by the end of the month. So by July, we should have all 3 training guides done. I've got the one that's up there that should get everybody the basics, that just gets you going, that gives you enough context to be able to make what you need. The other 2 training guides, I think those are more advanced, because Elements is in Kling, where you're taking 2 images and making one video scene. You have to explain that in text a lot differently. So I'll work on that. I'm going to try and be done by the end of the month, but essentially today was to just kind of go through a quick workflow. This helps somebody be able to come up with ideas as reference images, but then also context on, well, what do I do next? What steps do I take next? So I wanted to offer, hey, we at martialartistry.com, we've got prompt packs, so pre-set up prompts for you to mix and match. So if you don't have time to do the work, we have those for you. We also have video prompts that are pre-set up for you, so gives you some inspiration to kind of work from. And then we also have the cinematic training guide. So these 3 things in tandem is how I'm able to put out so much content in a short amount of time, because I've got that workflow kind of dialed in. So if that is something that interests you, definitely give us a follow first. Second, hit that like button. Third, share this with a friend that is in the industry, in this space. Tag them in the comments. If they have questions, tell them to ask. I'm always here to be a resource. I'm starting to do these pop-up lives more often while I'm sitting out here in the shop, so you'll see these more often. But yeah, definitely tag a friend, share it with a friend, and if you're interested in some of those helpful tools, definitely go stop at martialartistry.com. There is a link that's in my bio, so you can look forward to seeing me again on Sunday for Leadership Lounge Live. I may do another pop-up live stream tomorrow morning if I find something out tonight with these cameras and lenses. But aside from that, I am in editing mode. I'll be at work today, so I'll be kind of hit or miss during the day in terms of responding, but I do always get back to my comments by the end of the day, every single day. It's not so overwhelming where I can't do that. I always catch my DMs every day, so if you do have questions or just need a little help, just reach out. Aside from that, definitely looking forward to this Sunday's episode 65 of Leadership Lounge Live. I haven't seen Uriah or Adama for 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. So I'm really excited about this weekend's episode because a lot has happened. So I hope you guys all have an amazing Friday, and I will look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Have a great day, y'all. Peace.